There is a gubernatorial race in New Jersey. CBS's Jerika Duncan.
They've been out on the campaign trail for months now with their messages, both really focusing on affordability for people here in New Jersey. But of course, we know this has national implications.
The Republican candidates hoping to build on President Trump's unexpected gains in the state. In New York, it's the mayoral battle. President Trump endorsed former governor and Democrat Andrew Cuomo. CBS's Lilia Luciano is covering.
If you ask Governor Andrew Cuomo whether President Trump supports him, he says he does not support me. He opposes Zohran Mamdani.
In California, voters are deciding Proposition 50, which would allow Democrats to temporarily change the boundaries of U.S. House districts. CBS's Finn Gomez.
Democratic leaders, including Governor Gavin Newsom, who's led the charge here, say this is a direct response, a counterpunch, if you will, to the aggressive mid-cycle redistricting in Republican-led states like Texas, arguing California shouldn't play by old rules, while others redraw maps to their advantage.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is warning of chaos in the skies if the government shutdown goes on.
You will see mass flight delays, you'll see mass cancellations, and you may see us close certain parts of the airspace because we just cannot manage it because we don't have the air traffic controllers.
But Caitlin Huey Burns reports there may be progress on Capitol Hill.
Conversations happening, some proposals being talked about. There has not yet been any clear indication of what that looks like in terms of legislation, whether that might be a vote sometime this week.
Former Vice President Dick Cheney has died. Bradley Blackburn has more.
The flags above the White House were lowered to half staff in honor of former Vice President Dick Cheney.
I know the president is aware of the former vice president's passing.
Cheney helped shape Republican politics for decades, but following the January 6th assault on the Capitol, he and his family became sharp critics of President Trump.
He tried to steal the last election using lies and violence to keep himself in power.
That earned him admiration from many Democrats.
Cheney was 84. The opening statements began today in the trial of a man charged with assault for throwing a sandwich at a federal agent in Washington, D.C. Sean Charles Dunn argues it was a protest. Prosecutors say it was a federal crime, and you can't go around throwing stuff at people because you're mad. On Wall Street today, stocks finish lower. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What the latest polling is showing on this election day, coming up after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Hey, all right, thanks, Aaron. Seattle International Auto Show has our update. Well, WashDOT's been keeping busy this afternoon repairing potholes during the lull between storms. We just wrapped up work North 5 at 520, but now we have the off-ramp to Edgar Martinez Way closed on North 5. I'm not sure when they're going to wrap this up, so an alternate route would be to exit to the West Seattle Bridge and then take the First Avenue South off-ramp. That'll lead you straight into Soto. South 5, you're packed at the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge in the downtown. Seattle to Federal Way is a 40-minute commute already. You're slow from MLK Junior Way to 516. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 45-minute commute. Bellevue to Renton, plan on 25 minutes. It's packed at Southeast 8 through Factoria, and then you'll start to thin out. See 'em, touch 'em, drive 'em at the Seattle International Auto Show presented by BECU. Lumen Field Event Center, November 14 through 16. Discover your drive, seattleautoshow.com. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Just hours left to turn in ballots as voters decide key races today, including Seattle's mayoral contests.
We've reduced the encampments by 80%, RVs by 50%.
That's the incumbent Bruce Harrell trailing in the latest polling against newcomer Katie Wilson. Affordable housing, one of her key issues.
And unfortunately, our current mayor was the face of the opposition campaign.
King County voters are also picking their first new executive since 2009. Polls there show a tight race between Claudia Balducci and Gurmai Zahalai. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports from the county's election headquarters.
Ballots are being scanned, verified, then opened and counted.
We're expecting as many as 300,000 ballots to be coming back today. That would put us at about our projection of 45% turnout.
Many of those voters swinging by ballot boxes as the clock ticks closer to 8 p.m.
And, of course, we will be covering all the key races tonight, including the contest for mayor in Everett and Tacoma. You can find a full list of results on mynorthwest.com. Washington could face a federal lawsuit over voter rolls. Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon says the state denied a Justice Department request for full voter registration data.
We're just exercising our statutory authority under the Voting Rights Act and Help America Vote Act and the National Voter Registration Act, the federal civil rights and voting statutes that we administer.
But Washington's Secretary of State says his office cannot release birth dates or social security numbers under state law. Dillon tells Jason Rantz on Seattle Red he plans to take the state to court once the government shutdown ends. Seahawks add to their wide receiver core today, trading for Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. The NFL Network's Ian Rappaport says this is a reunion for Hawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. He coached Shaheed in New Orleans last year.
They know what Clint Kubiak and Rashid Shaheed can do. They know how he can take the top off of defense. And I get the sense they're looking pretty forward to it in Seattle over there.
Hawks gave up a 4th and 5th rounder in next year's draft to get Shaheed. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are staying dry tonight and mostly cloudy. Come tomorrow, rain returns. It'll be breezy through the end of the work week. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Yes.
Just noticed that you didn't namaste with the other yogis.
Yeah, not a namaste guy. I don't participate in group activities. I don't sing the birthday song, happy birthday to you, So,
Namaste means the light within me greets the light within you.
There is no light within me. That's the only problem there.
Yeah, that's right there. Oh my God, these cameras. Gee whiz.
Oh boy.
You back that up a little bit to make me look a little more attractive. How does Cleveland sound? You know what that line is from? Tootsie. Tootsie, the movie Tootsie. Here we go, Tootsie.
What's Tootsie? Sorry.
Wow.
Wait. It's
I got nothing.
He was in Rain Man.
Dustin Hoffman.
Pearls Before Swines, Wine, Driving out of the Yes. All right. Let's see. We got a lot to get to. So without any further ado, very exciting day. You feel the energy in the room?
Yes.
All over the. Yeah, it's election day. Look at Aaron's all excited.
I am excited.
Let's see Aaron's camera for a second.
Oh, God.
Just want to see if I can. Yeah, there's a pimple he had when he was 14 years old. Yeah. Here's snooze. All right. I was thinking we're going to answer somebody's question, right? Get out of here with that. What was the guy's name? Colin?
Yes, Colin.
I'm glad he wrote because it gives me a chance to tee off on my least favorite president.
Ooh, I know who that is.
Plus, why do we vote on Tuesday? You're probably wondering, why Tuesday? Why? I'll tell you why. Because today's the big day, right? Election day. If you haven't voted yet, you still have time. Ran into the mayor right here, and I challenged him again to the push-ups.
You did. I saw.
And he chickened out. Did you see that?
I saw him quickly change the subject.
Yes. And I went over to him and I said to him, because he's kind of mad, because that one thing I had him on that we put on the Instagram got like 200,000 hits or something. So he was sort of smarting from that. And I told him, I said, Mayor, here's the problem. Your politics on radio and TV is like checkers, just little moves, right? You jump the guy, you or you make the little move. You're trying to play chess on this stuff. That's. So then I just took your bad answer and just played it. You didn't seem very
take
happy.
It out of context.
You didn't seem very happy with me. Anyway, more on the election stuff. But quick poll from everybody. 1-888-973-5476. 1-888-973-5476. Who is going to win? Even if you don't live in Seattle, who do you think will win the mayoral race? We're going to do our own little sort of exit poll right here. Plus, Londoners want to impose a what ban?
Snogging.
On what is snogging?
It means making out, kissing, essentially. PDA.
Before a certain time when you're in the tube. You can't ban that. And who's going to enforce that? And then you're going to have all these activists in there, monkey shining. Plus, also, Randy Peoples going to be coming by, longtime Republican political strategist. He'll tell us what he thinks, looking at the tea leaves and the crystal ball as to what will be happening. What happens if Katie Wilson wins? What happens if Chad Magendas doesn't win? All that sort of stuff that if you're really into politics, you got to love every minute of it. And if you're not, well, find something else to listen to for a half hour. And then we're going to chat about gaslighting, the establishment of the interactive benchmark. Joe, I have no idea what the hell this is. When did you slip this in here?
That was kind of a note. It's a segment we talked about, but that wasn't really the title of it.
Okay, you're just trying to confuse the host. This day in history, Joe tries to confuse the host. And when your dog dies, and then some people say you should wait a certain amount of time, other people say no, you should immediately get a new dog, a new puppy to begin the continuation, the link in the chain of love from you to the dog. What do you think about if somebody says, oh, my dog died, I want my same dog back? Just gives you one more reason to hate Tom Brady. Plus, Dick Cheney. Are we supposed to, because he's gone, are we not supposed to kind of kick him when he's down 6 feet under?
I don't think that's your style.
I want to show respect to the guy, but the man, yikes. I'm going to hold off on it.
Really?
Yeah. And then also, it's nice to know that we were going to be able to have a choice to have driverless cars, but it looks like the city of Seattle, the government's going to come in and hurt the consumer one more time. All right, ran out of time on the rest of it. Ran out of music. All right, I was thinking, Ian. Thank you. Ooh, wow, double gong on that. Okay. This started, the beginning of this started because this guy named Colin sent a letter in because he thought that I had made a comment. I have the clip, but you want to read the first part?
I'll read what he said. He said, Joe, this is Colin for Bellevue. I called out John last Friday afternoon for blaming the national debt on SNAP recipients. You and John both said he did not say that. Well, I have receipts.
Okay, here it is. This is the timestamp according to Colin. What are you going to do? If you just allowed the federal government to pull back on all that. But you'll never be able to do that because once you start these programs, look at everybody all up in arms. Oh, I don't have my SNAP money. Why is the government feeding you? Why? If you're down on your luck, fine. But how long are you going to be down on your luck? And you're going to stay on that program forever? At some point, you got to, get up. Use the money and keep going. But no, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and we don't have any of the money. You're going to be all worked up. We don't even have the money. We have $37 trillion in debt. Okay. Yeah, I can see why he would think that. What I was not saying was SNAP specifically, but almost $2 trillion. $2 trillion. There's more than 100 programs that are in the anti-poverty sort of welfare programs, and it's up to $2 trillion. So that leads to what else he had went on to say, which was?
He said, no condemnation from John about the subsidies to companies like ExxonMobil and no comments regarding the billions sent to Israel, only comments on people trying to eat.
Okay, fine. So let's talk about, I think the problem is when you talk about subsidies or tax deductions, and maybe Colin was watching something like Jon Stewart talking about the same sort of thing, because that's where I think he got the $3 billion from.
So we're looking to save taxpayers some money. And I know, let me think, we got the studies that are done, how about we just take $3 billion in subsidies we give to oil and gas companies that are...
Now listen to all the SEALs in the audience clap.
...already turned billions in profits. How long did that take?
Okay, John, there's a difference. Subsidies and tax deductions, you got to understand the two. So, Jon Stewart, a subsidy is when the government gives the money. A deduction is when it reduces what the company pays to the government. For instance, Jon Stewart gets a tax deduction on the interest that he pays on his $5 million, 4,850 square foot home. That's a tax deduction. That means the government says, hey, we're not going to tax. You can write off the interest on the loan of your house. Oil companies spend billions of dollars exploring, drilling, and searching for oil. Their success rate is about 27%. So that means they spend a lot of time drilling, looking around, and they don't get anything. That means it costs them money. So the U.S. government allows the oil companies to deduct the portion of the cost of exploration from their taxes. It is a deduction, not a subsidy. So let's say the government did not give them these deductions. Well, then here's what happens. The oil and gas companies that only hit 27% of the time, they have incurred an additional cost. With an additional cost, what would they do with that, Colin? What they do with that is they would pass it on to the consumer, and it would be in the tank, out of the pocket, and into the tank and into the cost of gas. So the direct cost of gas. So I took 2022 and about a 60% increase in the cost of gas added to the cost of food 10%. See, so as gas prices go up, everything else goes up as well. It causes an increase in inflation, unemployment, interest rates, the stock market, gross domestic product. Revenues to the government begin to decline when the economy is squeezed by the cost of energy. So when you have that's the difference between the subsidies and the deductions. So understanding what they're trying to do is trying to flatten it all out, because when there's giant waves in the economy, when the price of gas goes up and the price of gas goes down, they're trying to flatten some of that sort of stuff out. So they allow the oil and the gas companies to deduct the cost, some of their cost, when it comes to the expiration. Now, if you talk about something like programs, I was talking about SNAP and other ones like that, there are 100, as I said, 100 separate anti-poverty programs that federal, state, and local governments spend almost $2 trillion on. And that money comes from all of us, the taxpayers, and we pay, and we're trying to reduce, right, the number of people that are living in poverty. But interestingly enough, ever since Johnson really started the war on poverty, and they've spent more than, I think it's 30-some, probably $34 trillion, the number of people in poverty stays about the same. It's about 12%, 12.4%, goes up, goes down occasionally, but it still stays the same. So even though they put the war on poverty, poverty continues to win. And that leads us to the beginning of the decline of the American ingenuity and trapping the poor people. And this is FDR and his anti-poverty programs, because he sold it to everybody with this load of crap, as he referred to it as the Second Bill of Rights.
The right to a useful and remunerative job, the right to earn enough to provide adequate food and clothing and recreation, the right of every farmer to raise and sell his products at a return which will give him and his family a decent living, the right of every businessman, large and small, to trade in an atmosphere of freedom, freedom from unfair competition and domination by monopolies at home or abroad, the right of every family to a decent home, the right to adequate medical care, and the opportunity to achieve and enjoy good health, the right to adequate protection from the economic fears of old age, sickness, accident, and unemployment, the right to a good education. All of these rights spell security. And after this war is won, we must be prepared to move forward.
Yes. All right. So it's interesting, the Second Bill of Rights from FDR. Not at all like the first Bill of Rights, which was freedom from the government. This is, you have no escape from the government. We're going to guarantee you a job. We're going to guarantee you a decent home. We're going to guarantee you all this sort of stuff. That was FDR's big plan. Now, he got this from the elites, the intellectuals that had studied what had happened in Bismarck, Germany, and they loved the idea of the welfare state. And so it began. He had a hard time selling it, but eventually he got enough people to get on board, because he said, listen, I'm only going to tax the super duper rich, so it's going to be fine. Don't forget, we're going to give everybody security, right? This is how it all began. So 12 years in, they start taxing. They get a little bit. They get about the top 25. They get about 25%. Then they got to move it up to 75%. Then 95% on the very, very rich. And then he realizes, oh my God, we don't have enough money. So what he does is he decides to adjust the marginal rate. He takes it from 4 to 23 from 1939 to 1945. So when he hits the gold mine at that point, because now everybody's paying in. Everyone's paying in. And the amazing thing is, because FDR was such a tyrannical dictator who basically wanted all control of the government, you can see that he's, I think, 3,078 executive orders. He also wanted everybody to sing along with this garbage that was being played on the radio. Remember, the radio stations had to go to the federal government for their license, so they gladly played.
I paid my income tax today. I never felt so proud before to be right there with millions more who paid their income tax today.
Yeah, everybody. I'm so proud to pay my income tax. I got to pay into the system. You're going to get all the security. Well, the government can't promise you security. All it can do is take money from one group of people and give it to another group of people, and this is where the biggest problem comes in the final 1 minute. The government giving somebody money, and what happens is there's this thing called the benefit cliff, and it works this way. If you're poor and the government's going to provide you with housing and food and anything else it can give you, if you get a job and you earn $1 more than you're supposed to, you lose all of those benefits. So that person might be poor, but they're not dumb. Do I stay on all of these programs and continue to get all of this money, or do I go get a job? Well, if you look at the numbers, you're like, this is dumb. Because if I get a job that's paying me $20 an hour or something like that, and I was getting anywhere between $37,000 a year from the federal government and state and local, or all the way up to $54,000, I can't get a job that's going to pay me $54,000 and provide me with all of these things that I need. So I'll just stay unemployed, and I'll stay in the benefits, and I'll keep all the security that the government has provided for me. What they need to do, a couple of states have come up with this thing called the Cliff Benefit program to get rid of that program, where what would happen is as you start to earn money, they slowly begin to deduct some of the government bennies that you'd be getting until eventually you're making money and you don't need the extra help, and now you're moving along in the job. Because ultimately, in the end, there is no security from the government. The government will continue to take more. The programs will grow and grow and grow. And unfortunately for the poor in America, they will stay trapped with all of their new security provided for them by all of us. Get all that? And there you go.
Oh, easy.
Sorry.
That was everything.
Oh, no, I still have the rest of it.
Okay, good.
Checking Nate with checking traffic with that new camera. You look... Huh? That's what I thought. Okay, here's Nate.
Thanks, John. Let's see. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Maintenance work continues to block that exit to Edgar Martinez Way on northbound I-5. Looks like they're going to wrap this up real soon, though. Meanwhile, you're backed up to the Michigan Curve. South 5 is packed from the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge into downtown, Linwood to Seattle, closing in on a 25-minute drive. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both 40-minute commutes. Seattle to Federal Way is inched up just a bit to 45 minutes. You're slow from MLK Junior Way all the way to South 272nd and really thick along South Center. North 5 at South 304th there in Federal Way. They just moved a collision out of the HOV lane. It's on your left shoulder. And Bellevue to Renton is a 25-minute commute. You're packed at Southeast 8th through Factoria, and then you'll slowly thin out as you make your way into Renton. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Comedian Tom Segura is back November 29th at the Emerald Queen Casino. Get ready for another night of nonstop laughs only at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
We've got organization. We've got peace at the Curly Barn there in Cleveland because finally, after I said to Nick, okay, find a closet company to come in, but I want them to be local, and if they're family run, even better. They've been around for a while. I thought, oh, good, she'll never find anybody, and then she'll move on to some other project. And then she went on Google and found Closets by Design, family run, 22 years, local company, completely customizing. I was like, oh boy, this is going to be expensive. But here's what happens. When the designer came, and she was with Nick from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and they completely redesigned the master bedroom, the other stuff, and everything in the garage. I was surprised to learn the Closets by Design completely customized. They don't come in a box of parts and try to jerry-rig the stuff in place. They really make sure, like for instance, when they built cabinets for us, it matched all the woodwork that was in the laundry room. I was like, wow, this is great. What's the price? Look at this. 40% off, plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. You can give Closets by Design a call. They'll come to your house, 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Election Night 2025. On the ballot, Seattle Mayor.
Residents are choosing between incumbent Bruce Harrell and challenger Katie Wilson.
City Council President, City Attorney, King County Executive.
Seattle seems to be headed toward a political event horizon.
Live election results all night at mynorthwest.com. And all the latest reaction and analysis tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News. From Seattle's trusted news source, KIRO News Radio.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at tmobile.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
Well, you're getting ready every morning. Make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
The markets and the economy will change, but you should always know what you can rely on from your financial advisor. I'm John Ramsire with Baird Private Wealth Management in Seattle. With deep planning and investment expertise, Baird's financial advisors have guided individuals and families through changing markets for more than 100 years. And in all that time, our guiding principle has never changed. Our clients come first, always. Discover the Baird difference at rwbaird.com/Seattle.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo with all eyes on the polls this election day. The U.S. Senate took another vote to end the government shutdown and failed to do so. There is word of behind-the-scenes talks, however, to reach a deal. Here's Republican Kentucky Senator Roger Marshall.
I've made it real clear if they want to talk about the Unaffordable Care Act, they need to be willing to talk about and address the fraud, waste, and abuse. They need to talk about the subsidies that they're given to the big insurance corporations.
Now, barring a last-minute breakthrough tonight, this shutdown is set to become the longest on record. Meanwhile, the White House is trying to clear up confusion over a social media post about SNAP benefits.
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked if the president was going against the court order when he posted he would be withholding the benefits until the government reopens.
No, the administration is fully complying with the court order.
And insisted he was referring to future SNAP benefits.
We are digging into a contingency fund that is supposed to be for emergencies, catastrophes, for war. And the president does not want to have to tap into this fund in the future.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
Well, it is down to the wire in some big local races on this election day. In Seattle, current City Council President Sarah Nelson faces a progressive opponent. That's Dion Foster, a former senior policy advisor for the city. She spoke with Seattle's Morning News back in August.
I definitely want to make sure that we continue to get our SPD staffing functional. I want to make sure that we have a strong response time.
Nelson tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red the city is already moving in the right direction.
That was the top concern 4 years ago, and it's still the top concern now. For our efforts, we have been staffing up SPD, and we got to just keep working at it.
Also on the ballot, mayoral races in Seattle, Tacoma, and Everett. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon.
Current Mayor Cassie Franklin is looking for a third term. She has led the city since 2018. Franklin is expected to face a tough challenge from former City Council member Scott Murphy. In the August primary, these two were almost dead even, with Murphy earning 65 more votes.
Now, statewide voter turnout is low. As of last night, it was below 20%. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:32. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, thanks, Aaron. This report brought to us by Global Credit Union. That North 5 off-ramp to Edgar Martinez Way has reopened. South 5 packed at the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge through downtown. Linwood to Seattle plan on 25 minutes. That drive to Everett from Seattle and Bellevue still looking pretty good at 40 to 45 minutes. Both of our lake bridges are wide open. Seattle to Federal Way is at 45 minutes. It's slow from MLK Junior Way all the way down to South 272nd heading into Federal Way, and really thick along South Center. Bellevue to Renton, a 25-minute drive. It's slow from 520 down to the VMAC and really thick from Southeast 8th through Factoria. Tacoma to Olympia looking okay at 45 minutes. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Looking at dry conditions tonight. Rainy and windy, though, as the night goes on. It'll be an active weather pattern through at least this Friday. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Here we are with the John Curley Show on this election day. Maybe give that election day music. Make it seem very exciting.
Okay, hang on. Oh, please.
What's the turnout now? It's only 22%, 20%?
19.5 as of 5 o'clock last night.
Oh, my God.
That's rough.
Not good.
100% in this room, though, right?
That's right.
Here we go.
So far, everyone is voting along. Early election results coming in now. Have you seen on the news?
Home Comfort Alliance?
Yes, Home Comfort Alliance. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Vote for them. And I was just trying to tie it into the theme.
Nice. Well,
HomeComfortAlliance.com. Okay. They get my vote.
Every time.
I love what they do. That's all I got. Home Comfort Alliance, 1-888-973-5476. We're all off today because of this new camera. It's very close. You can see my, can you see what I'm going to get a facelift? See that? It's what I'm going to look like in a couple of months, Joe.
Oy, oy, oy.
like that.
January 6th. Stop
Can
the
anybody
peel.
tell I've had work done? Anybody? Okay. This being election day, and I've got a whole bunch of days in history. This day in history, George Washington learns of an effort to discredit him in 1777. Have you seen George's teeth? 1845, the first Tuesday election day in U.S. history in 1945 or 1845. Walter Cronkite is born in 1916. He was the most trusted baby in America. And then in 1922, the entrance to King Tut's tomb is discovered. 1960, Jane Goodall observes a chimpanzee making and using tools. And then she hires him to redo her bathroom, and she cheats him out of the money. 1979, Iran hostage crisis begins. Oh, yeah. I thought I would take, since it is election day, it was 1845, the first election day in U.S. history. Interestingly enough, so why do we vote on Tuesday? Anyone? 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 You already know the answer. Sophia, any idea? Let's have the camera go in there and going too close on you.
Oh, no.
There you are.
Mine's great. No, this feels like a trap. This feels like the yellow
It's not a
pages
trap.
all over
No.
again.
Why? I'm going to walk you through the answer.
Okay.
So it's 1845. What did most people do for a living back then? Farmers.
Farmers. Yeah, that
right.
makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
Right. Did they do anything on Sunday?
I would assume go to church.
That's right. Good. So, how are they going to get into town?
You know, not by a BMW Series 3, that's for sure.
Nope, that's right. That right. So, how are they going to get into town?
They take one of those little stagecoaches.
Like a horse and buggy. Good.
Horse and
so
buggy.
they leave on a Monday, and by the time they get into town, what day is it?
Tuesday.
There you go. So they vote on Tuesday
Wow,
for that
you
very
know.
reason. Yeah. So we still vote on Tuesday because the farmers would leave the fields. They wouldn't do anything on Sunday. Monday, they get all, I'm heading to town. And then off they'd go. And then they'd vote. Well, a lot of rules, because the first time it happened, politicians would be hey, before you vote, why don't you come in here, I'll buy you a drink. Ooh. And the farmer would be like, well, I think I might have a little something. It's a long ride for me. Horse thirsty too. Accents all over the place for some reason.
I like it.
Made a wrong turn, ended up on the UK. So at that point, the politicians would, buy people drinks, have them go into town, buy them a drink, and then they'd head over there and vote. Well, then they said after, I think, a couple of years, like, hey, I got an idea. How about we shut down the bars? Because that shouldn't be here. There are, I think, a number of states that still don't have bars open during election days or during a short period of time. Then there's all these other rules that have come into play. I like some of these. For instance, you can't wear a hat that has anything political on it. There's a guy that punched a poll worker. I think it was in Texas, or was that where it was?
Texas, yep.
Yeah. You can carry a sword in Texas. You can carry a spear in public, but you can't carry your sword or spear to the polling place. You got to leave them at home on that day. I think that's probably a good idea. In Indiana, a man can wear a Speedo to vote, but a woman's not allowed to wear a halter top or tube top.
Has anyone put this to the test? Voting in
You
Indiana?
dare go to Indiana, walk around with a halter top on and cast your vote?
Feeling scandalous.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. There's no line warming. You know what line warming is? That's where you go down the line and you get people food or a drink of water or something like that. That's considered line warming. This happened in Georgia. It was a big deal because it was really hot and the line was really long. Oh, they're not allowing people to drink and they're passing out. No, it's because you walk up to somebody and say, hey, would you like some water? And the person goes, oh, thank God. I could really use some water. Great. Hey, don't forget to vote for, Peterson. The person's like, oh, okay. So you see that? That's why they don't have that. That's why they got rid of that.
I think they ought to update that one.
Oh, really? Just want the person going down, handing out stuff to people?
If you're voting based on somebody handing you a bottle of water when you're dying in a hot, sweltering day, then sure, they earned it.
Joe, even as we sit here, you're like, I don't know, Katie Wilson, Bruce Harrell, you're thinking about it.
Yeah, but it's not going to come down to a bottle of water.
Okay, how about a drink? How about a beer?
See, that's different.
That's why you just simply draw the line. There's no line warming. And in Minnesota, no beer is allowed within 100 feet or I don't know how many feet of the polling place. Keep all of that in mind. They make it very easy for us here in the state of Washington.
Yes,
Just
they do.
drop it in the ballot box. If you missed it and you don't know if you've been following the news or not, don't put it in the post office. It's not going to get there. It won't count, right?
Well,
they'll count it. They'll find it under somebody's desk in King County, and then the person that you didn't think would win would win.
they're saying there's a chance it won't be correctly postmarked by tonight. So
Okay.
get to the box.
Everybody here vote? We're all in?
I haven't actually put mine in a box. I filled it out. I've signed it. I just haven't dropped it in the box yet.
Oh, boy.
Wrong!
I drove back to my house 2 times today because I forgot it twice on my way to work. The envelope.
Wow. So what were you smoking prior to getting in the car, going there twice and forgetting it both times?
Just, that's just how it is.
Wait, that's at work. You went home, realized you forgot it, then drove back here, and then realized...
No. I didn't drive all the way to work. I was just like a half a mile down the road when I realized, oh, man, I forgot it again. Then turned around and went home again.
What did you get the first time you went back?
Well, so what I did was I filled it out, put it in the envelope, set it by the door, and then I pet my dog on the way out the door.
Yep.
And then I forgot to pick up the envelope. And then down the road, I realized, and then I went back there again. I was petting my dog again, and I tried to sneak out before it saw me leave. One of those things.
Yeah.
Gave it a treat, and then I left it there again.
Wow, that's why there are 3 states where you're not allowed to pet your dog prior to voting. So you just put all that in there. All right, there you go. All right, Nathan, you are here now, though. Checking traffic for us, Nathan.
All righty. We're not looking too bad out there, actually. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are 40-minute drives. I-5, you're crowded from Northgate into Linwood. 405 is crowded from Kirkland into Bothell. Both of these backups, you're close to freeway speeds. Even Everett's looking good. Everett to Marysville, just a 10-minute drive. South 5 heading into Seattle jams up about northeast 50th in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle's a 20-minute commute. Seattle to Federal Way, 45 minutes. It's pretty packed now from the Duwamish Curve down to State Route 516. Bellevue to Renton, a 25-minute drive. You're slow from 520 all the way to the VMAC. And Renton to Puyallup starting to fill in. We're at 50 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I got to tell you something. I've lost my excuses around the house. Nick's like, can you take the garbage out? I was like, my hip. I got a bad hip. Hey, can you help me with this? It's a bad hip. I got a bad hip. I don't have a bad hip anymore. Let me tell you what happened. I was told by this one doctor that I had to get my hip replaced, right? The big surgery, they saw through the femur, the whole thing. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. And the doctor said, don't worry, you can't do it right now because you're too young. You got to wait a couple of years. I knew about stem cell. I've been reading about stem cell. I understood how the procedure works, and then I wanted to go see a doctor. So I went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. At Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because the guy's done 20,000 of these procedures. He has 30 years of experience, so that I'm in great hands. I go in, he looked at the MRI, he looked at my x-rays, and I noticed there was a lot of athletes' signatures on pictures all around the wall. I said, man, if these athletes go there to see Dr. Mark Wagner, I'm going. I got the procedure done, I think about 4 weeks ago. I feel great. No more excuses. Taking the garbage out, helping around the house. I cannot recommend enough for you. If you got a bad hip or a knee or a shoulder, whatever it is, go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. That's Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
What's your holiday tradition? For most, it's gathering with a joyful meal. Unfortunately, for many families, that tradition feels out of reach. To help, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors the next time you're at Safeway checkout or visit nourishingneighbors.com.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
All right, friend Joel wrote in, I love the new cameras. I can see all of your eyebrows, nose hair, and ear hair.
Thank you to Advanced Hair.
This cameras and radio, I don't think it's good.
You love it.
Okay. Londoners want to impose a snogging ban on the tube. This is doing any of this snogging stuff. Here's the PDA police on the Underground in London.
Mind the gap. The Underground has banned hugging, kissing, and showing any signs of affection. The London Underground does not allow public displays of affection, no hugging, no kissing, no hetero on the metro. Thank you very much.
No what in the metro?
Only homo gets the promo.
No hetero on the metro.
Only homo gets the promo.
That's right.
Well, who did that?
That's just some guy on social media.
Okay, fine, yeah. According to the Metro.com readers poll, a vast majority of tube riders would prefer that there's no kissing, that there be a no kissing rule prior to 10 a.m. It's too early to make me even more depressed about being poor and single on the way to work. They should keep the happiness to later in the day when I'm less vulnerable, said one Londoner. There is now an internet rumor flying around that this is because of the Muslim population. some in the Muslim population that would like to have Sharia law that people are like, what? That's not coming. So they've done their best to kind of knock it down. And the people there in London are saying, no, it's not coming from them. It's coming from us. If you look, Dubai, if you mess around in Dubai, any kissing in public is illegal. And this goes for petting. So keep those paws in your pocket. China, as well, is there's no public display of affection there. It's generally considered taboo. Zimbabwe, as well. No intimate acts, no kissing, no sex in public. Sorry, guys. And then rural Vietnam, blah, 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 blah. And Qatar, same sort of India. They also have rules against it. Can you imagine that? Getting, thrown in the old gray bar hotel. No kissing in public, no matter what. In Thailand? No way.
Yeah, come on.
The whole conservative belief, it comes from kissing in public is a major no-no, while hand-holding has become more acceptable. I remember being over there when they were celebrating their New Year's. I think it's in March. And it's a giant water festival. Everybody throws water on one another, and they take a little bit of powder, baking powder, whatever, and then you put it on the person's cheek. It's supposed to be just take a little powder and put it on their cheek or on their forehead for good luck, like cleaning your soul for the beginning of the new year. And I remember we're in this giant water fight as we're heading in to town, and I took my boot off, and I dunked it in this big thing of water, this giant bucket of water that we had, and I went to throw the water onto somebody. But apparently your feet and your shoes, that's like flipping somebody off in the worst way. So the guy that we were with, our translator, is like, no, not water from your boot. It was like the worst thing you could possibly do.
Wow.
If you sit down with somebody and you cross your legs or you cross your feet and you have your feet pointing at the person, in Thailand, that's a great insult to the individual. You never show your feet or point your feet or don't dunk your boot into a big bucket of water and throw it on people.
That just seems like a weird thing to do, just to decide to throw your boot into a big bucket of water.
The one guy, the people that were going by us, there was a backup of about 10 miles to go into town because everybody was having this giant water fight. So our car was stopped as well. Well, these people coming up next to us with on pickup trucks, and they had like super soakers.
Yeah.
So they were blasting us, and I was just trying to splash water on them. I thought, what's the fastest way? The most amount of water I can get is in this boot, and then whoosh.
But no.
No, the guy dove in front of me. No, don't do that. Oh my God. Not the boot water.
Can you imagine if you...
The whole city would have stopped. Right.
Wow.
All right. Anyway, there you go, everybody. So don't do any of that sort of stuff. And the last little piece here is...
Whenever you Google, is kissing in public in India a punishable offense, you'll find a bunch of articles which talk about the sections and the law regarding obscenity. Cops in India have been charging people under Section 294 of the Indian Penal Code since time immemorial for kissing in public. However, in all the matters that I have come across, the courts have either discharged the accused persons or handed an acquittal. Problem is that until at least one constitutional court comes heavily down upon the police will continue to charge people under Section 294.
Okay, good. Just there, we cleared all that out. You ever watch movies and the people wake up in the morning and they start kissing each other in bed? The first thing I think is like, God, how's that person's breath has got to be so bad? Do you ever notice that?
I do, yes. There's also a... Just don't make out. Not full kind of tongue in the morning. Just baby smooches, Gentle.
I was going to make you say something else awkward. All right, here's Nate over there checking traffic. Nate,
Thank you, John. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both inched up a few minutes. We're both at 45 minutes. I-5 now slows at Lake City Way into Linwood. 405 still crowded between Kirkland and Bothell. South 5 is bumper to bumper from about Northeast 50th through downtown. Linwood to Seattle, just a 20-minute drive, though. North 5, you're going to jam up at the West Seattle Bridge up to Mercer. Seattle to Federal Way, a 45-minute commute. It's packed from the Duwamish Curve all the way down to State Route 516 before you catch a break. Renton to Puyallup southbound on 167 is a 50-minute commute. Heavy volumes coming off 405 past State Route 516. You catch a little breather and then thick again between Algona and Sumner. Tacoma to Olympia is just a 40-minute trip. All of your slowing is through South Tacoma, basically from State Route 16 down to State Route 512, and then you're clear all the way into Olympia. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I'm going to make a prediction about you if you're a guy and let's say you're 50 years old. Most guys don't have or can't name their primary care physician. Like, I don't know. I don't even have one. I don't go to the doctor until I get sick. See, there's the problem. I don't go to the doctor till I get sick. What's happening is if you were proactive, you might not get sick. If you were working to making sure that heart disease, diabetes, and cancer were not lurking around the corner, if you were proactive, you would not be dealing with a big problem like a possible heart attack or diabetes or cancer. And that is where Longevity Medical Clinic comes in. See, for 25 years, the doctors there using the latest science and technology to see all the early indicators of how you're aging and then doing their best to retard those, to slow those down, to stop them, to extend your life. These guys at Longevity Medical Clinic, the good doctors there, have been doing this for 25 years. I've been a patient since 2009. It is remarkable. You want to be around for a long time? Good for you. Start by taking the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Hey, get in. What? Who are you? I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Yeah. Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Seattle's Morning News.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harder. I hope you can join Manda Thacker and me tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News as we look at the latest election results. Luke Ducey will have those for us. We'll also have Sully with traffic, and joining us to take a look at the weather, we have Scott Sistek with his new Emerald City weather blog. That's coming up tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
For more than 75 years, the VA Home Loan Benefit has helped millions of eligible veterans and service members achieve their piece of the American dream, a home for their families. Did you know that you could purchase a home or refinance your current home loan with your VA Home Loan Benefit? VA home loans have lower closing costs and generally enjoy lower interest rates than other borrowers. The VA home loan may save you thousands of dollars on your mortgage. For more information, visit www.va.gov or talk to a lender of your choice. Choose VA.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at progressive.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
Voters cast ballots in several states.
Issues in my mind really are the survival of democracy.
Former vice president has died.
Dick Cheney will be remembered as one of the most influential vice presidents in history.
14th vote taken in the Senate to end the shutdown.
The motion is not agreed to.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. New Jersey voters are choosing a new governor. The race is tight. Former state legislator Jack Ciattarelli is endorsed by President Trump. His challenger is U.S. Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill. CBS's Finn Gomez.
Both candidates are framing the race as almost a referendum on the state's cost of living. Democrat Mikey Sherrill is pitching herself as a centrist problem solver who can lower costs without cutting essential services. Republican Jack Ciattarelli, meanwhile, says Democrats have had decades to fix affordability and have failed.
The polls are now closed in Virginia in a closely watched Democrat race for governor, which CBS estimates is leaning Democrat. It will be historic.
I'm Allison Keyes in Washington. Either candidate would be the first woman to lead the Commonwealth. The Democratic gubernatorial nominee is former U.S. Representative Abigail Spanberger. This voter chose
Miss Abigail. She's a mom, for abortion.
But this one picked Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Spears.
Especially with the economy, she really stood out to me this year.
Earl Spears would be the first black woman elected governor in the nation.
The Virginia lieutenant governor's race is also estimated as leaning Democrat. The race for New York City mayor has drawn a lot of voters in early voting and to the polls today.
I voted for Mamdani.
Andrew Cuomo. Yeah. Who not necessarily we like.
Cuomo, the former governor who resigned over sexual harassment allegations, is running as an independent. Democrat Zohran Mamdani has been leading in the polls, and Republican Curtis Sliwa is third. In California, voters are choosing whether or not Democrats can redraw congressional maps. And breaking news today, a U.S. UPS plane headed to Honolulu has crashed on takeoff from the airport in Louisville, Kentucky, igniting a huge fire on the ground. 3 people were aboard the plane. Former Vice President Dick Cheney has died at age 84 of complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. Peter Mayer looks back.
He was a leading advocate of the Iraq War and the war on terrorism. In the 2004 campaign, he assumed the traditional vice presidential attack dog role as he criticized Democrat John Kerry for calling for a more sensitive war on terrorism.
A sensitive war will not destroy the evil men who killed 3,000 Americans.
Cheney became a lightning rod for criticism for linking Iraq and al-Qaeda and for insisting Iraq had a weapons of mass destruction program. The former congressman, White House chief of staff, and defense secretary was a key architect of Bush administration policies.
Now this.